Hi, and welcome to the Butterfly's Guide to the Power of Using Positive Affirmations. Well, first of all, let's talk about what is an affirmation. An affirmation is an assertion, it's a pronouncement over your life that you make with your words. It's the act of superseding your thoughts with the thoughts you want to think versus random thoughts that are being superimposed upon you. Affirmations give your brain an opportunity to think something new instead of what it's been accustomed to thinking. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. It only believes what it hears. What you're currently experiencing is a direct result of what you've been believing. So, affirmations create new pathways in your brain, and they change the narrative that you tell yourself. One of my favorite quotes is, "It's not what happens to you that causes your suffering, it's the story that you tell yourself about what happened." So, affirmations are shifting the conversation that you're having with yourself. Is an affirmation magic? No, it's not. Is it science? Yes, it is. What are the benefits of using positive affirmations? Studies have been done using MRIs proving that using positive affirmations create new pathways in the prefrontal cortex of your brain. That one was a tough one to say. So, in other words, it proves that it's training your brain. Affirmations decrease stress and rumination. How many of you have ever ruminated over something when it happens? You know, you think about it over and over and over again in your mind. You play it over and over again to different scenarios and what you should have said and what you shouldn't have said. Well, positive affirmations help you decrease that kind of rumination. You become aware of your thoughts by paying attention to what you're thinking. A lot of what we're thinking are just random thoughts that we don't even pay attention to. You're becoming intentional about what you're thinking instead of having random thoughts when you use positive affirmations. You're focusing on what you want versus being the victim of happenstance and haphazardness. You're able to choose a new perspective, and you become the chooser of your thoughts instead of the victim of your thoughts. That is so powerful right there. I'm going to say that one again. When you use positive affirmations, you become the chooser of your thoughts instead of the victim of your thoughts. Affirmations produce mindfulness and living in the moment. You're able to govern your own thoughts more consistently. One of my favorite scriptures is, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." That's in Philippians 4, verse 8. And I think that is just, I always go back to that verse to remind me if I'm thinking about negativity, I go back to that verse. And affirmations bring you back to what is right, what is pure, what is lovely, what's admirable. And, you know, it brings you back to those things that are excellent and praiseworthy. So, how do you come up with your affirmations? Well, here's how I write my affirmations. First of all, I want you to sit down and I want you to get out your journal. Just take out the pen and paper that you can just do some brainstorming here. And I want you to ask yourself these questions and write about these. What's not working in my life? What are the agitations in my life? What's my biggest complaint about my life? Where am I not getting the results that my soul is longing to see? So I want you to write out whatever comes to your mind. And I mean, just fill up as much as you can. It's okay. You might think that you're just being negative here, but I want you to get it all out because this is going to help you to be able to form your affirmation. So I want you to write these 4 questions and then just brainstorm whatever comes to your mind. Dig deep here. Then, after you write about those things, then I want you to write about how you want things to be different. And then I want you to write, how do you want to show up in the world? And what are the results that you want to experience? And that's where your affirmations are going to come from. So let me give you a little example from my own personal life. This is how I came up with some of my affirmations. So a while back, several years ago, I was feeling overlooked and undervalued. And frankly, I just felt invisible. I was not making the impact that I wanted to have on people. And I went through a season where I started noticing that I would meet people, and then when I would go back and see them again, they wouldn't remember me. It's as if I had been invisible. I would say, "Hey, good to see you again." And they'd say, "Oh, it's nice to meet you." They did not remember me. I had not stood out to them. And at first, I really got my feelings hurt. But then I started thinking about what if I just looked at this as feedback? And I realized that I was not showing up in the world in a powerful way. I saw myself as small and I was hiding in plain sight. And so this was not getting me the results that I wanted. So I thought about how that made me feel. And what I did is I asked myself, what I thought about how invisible I felt and how I was hiding and not making an impact. And just a mouse came to me. And I thought, I feel like a little mouse that's hiding in the shadows, just peeking out every now and then. And so, I just wrote about all the ways that I felt like a mouse. Well, then I thought, well, I don't like the results that living as a mouse is getting me. So if I was going to choose a different animal, what animal would I choose to represent how I want to feel? And all of a sudden, an elephant came to my mind. So I thought, well, an elephant is visible and noticeable. So I did something kind of funny, but I Googled, what is the purpose of an elephant? And I found out the most incredible thing. Elephants help other animals during seasons of drought. They dig for water with their tusks. As they eat, they create gaps in the vegetation. These gaps create new pathways for other animals. And then they deposit seed in their dung, and their dung actually creates new growth. Well, out of that came my new affirmations, and I realized that I resembled that elephant more than I thought. So these are the affirmations that I came up with out of that exercise. I support women in the dry seasons of their lives. I assist women in creating new pathways in their brains so that they can think better. The tragedies of my life carry seeds of hope and destiny. I am visible and a viable solution to women. I am not afraid to be noticed for the impact that I make. And those affirmations, I wrote those down and I would say those every single day. And now I'm telling you that as I sit here and even record this lesson, that I am living that out. I am living out those affirmations right now. I have become visible. I have become noticeable. I have become sought out for my expertise. I have supported women in the dry seasons of their lives, and I've assisted women in creating new pathways in their brain so they can think better and have better results. In fact, that's what the flutter is all about. And the tragedies of my life, I realized that where I once felt embarrassed and shameful about my past, that now I realize that the tragedies of my life, what I had only seen as dung, they carry the seeds of hope and destiny for not just for myself and my family, but for other people. And so when I wrote those affirmations, I was not living in that way, but I am a result of those affirmations at this moment. So I just want to testify how powerful affirmations are. So, how do you use your affirmations? Well, write your affirmations out and then say them out loud daily. Even if you don't believe it, just begin to say it, and eventually you'll begin to believe it. Visualize yourself living in those affirmations as you speak them. And then journal weekly about the changes that you're noticing in yourself as a result of these affirmations. So, here's a few creative ways that you can display your affirmations. You can write them on index cards and hang them up in different places where you'll see them. Sometimes I put them on the inside of my cabinets in the kitchen. Sometimes I hang them on the mirror in the bathroom. Sometimes I put them in my closet. Put them on a vision board. Write them in a notebook in a creative way. Make a Pinterest board. Make a screensaver out of them. Write them in lipstick on your mirror. Record yourself saying them and listen to them. Make a song out of them. And just daydream about you living as your affirmations. So it's time for you to do the work and write your affirmations with the downloadable worksheet to go with this exercise. And I'm also going to be providing you with some affirmations to get you started. So I'll see you soon.